Okay, guys, we actually had a little problem recording our Zoom session this morning. So instead of posting that one, I am going to be posting this video instead. It will take the place of it. We're going to go over the same problems right now as we did in Zoom this morning, okay? So let's start off by answering this one. Which division expression represents 6/10? Okay, so let's talk about the fraction 6/10, okay? 6/10, remember all division problems can be written as a fraction. So 6/10 is the same as, well, this fraction bar right here makes us say something very special. And it actually makes us say divided by. So 6/10 is the same as 6 divided by 10, okay? Which is actually going to give us 6/10 since 6/10 is already a proper fraction. Okay, I can take it a step further and simplify this fraction and say, okay, 6 and 10 are both even numbers, so I know that they have a common factor of 2, so I can divide the numerator and denominator by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And my answer would be 3/5 as a simplified answer, but that's not what this one is asking. It's asking for a division expression, okay? And that division expression is going to be 6 divided by 10, which is going to be your letter D. Okay. All right, let me bring in question number 2. Okay. 4 classes are equally sharing 1/3 of an acre of land for a garden. What fraction of an acre will each class get? Okay, so when I'm looking at this, the first thing I notice is that I have 1/3 acre of land, and I have 4 classes, okay? And from what I can read in this problem is this land is going to be split between 4 classes. Okay, so to me, that means 1/3 divided by 4. Okay, remember, if you start with a fraction, you're actually going to end with a fraction. And remember, these are unit fractions because the numerator is a 1. So start with a unit fraction, end with a unit fraction. Okay, so let me come over here, draw my model. Okay, here's my acre of land, and they actually don't have a full acre. They actually have only 1/3 of an acre. Okay, so here's this 1/3, and we're going to split this between 4 classes, which means I'm going to go the opposite direction, and I'm going to split it into 4 equal parts. Okay, so here's 1 equal part, 2, 3 lines, and that makes my 4 equal parts, okay? And when I'm looking for the answer to this expression that I made, 1/3 divided by 4, I'm only looking for one piece, which is going to be this one. But when I find an answer, I have to look at it as a whole and not just that one part. So I know I've got one piece, okay, because this is going to be class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, and we're trying to answer what fraction of an acre will each class get, okay? So class 1, if we're just focusing on them, they're going to get this one piece right here. But it's one piece out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is going to give me an answer of 1/12. So my answer would be letter D. Okay. All right. Let me bring in our next question. Question number 3 for today. Okay. I'll make it a little bit bigger so I cover all my old writing. Okay. Sarah is feeding her dog. The dog food dish holds 6 cups of food. Okay. So in my brain, I see this dog dish. And that dog dish is divided into 6 equal parts. Okay. The scoop she has holds 1/3 cup. How many scoops will Sarah need to fill the bowl? Okay, so I got my 6 cups. So I'm going to actually be cutting my cups. I'm going to say 6 divided by 1/3. And remember, start with a whole. I'm going to actually end with a whole. Okay, so as I'm doing that, I'm going to keep that in my brain. So I know that I'm not going to have a fraction as my answer, okay? So for every 6 cups, the scoop she has holds 1/3. So for this first cup, I'm going to have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, okay? And I can extend that line all the way across. And my question is, how many scoops will she have to use pretty much? So I can think about this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So she's actually going to need 18 scoops in order to fill up this dog bowl. Another way to look at it is if I look at 1 cup and that 1 cup is divided into thirds, 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3. And I'm going to do this 6 times for each of those cups that the dog dish can hold. I would have 3 times 1/6, which is going to give me an answer of 18. Okay. All right, moving on. I'm going to just black out some of these so they're not shining through. Sorry, y'all. Give me just 1 second. Hey. Can't have these. All right, let me bring in question number 4 for today. All right, Mike will fill jars with water for an experiment. Each jar holds 1/3 cup. Okay, so in my brain, I see this jar. Oh, sorry. In my brain, I see this jar. Oh, gosh knows. I see this jar. Okay, and each jar holds 1/3 cups. Okay. So that's what I see. And it can't hold all this. It can only hold this amount, okay? And he actually has 18 cups of water. How many jars can Mike fill with water, okay? So he has 18 cups. And he has jars that hold 1/3. So in order to do this, I'm actually going to be cutting up my 18 jars. And I'm going to say, what's 18 divided by 1/3? Okay? Which means I am going to be dividing a whole number by a unit fraction. So start with a whole, end with a whole. So I know that my answer is going to have to be a whole number, okay? So if this is his cup, he's going to have 1, 2, 3 jars from inside of it. Okay? And he's actually going to do that 18 times. Okay? So we're going to have 3 times 18. Sorry, I'm going to turn it this way. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry my 2. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 more is going to give me 54. So 54 is going to be my answer. I'm going to show you one other way to solve this problem. Sorry, it takes me a second to reverse everything. I wish there was like a button I could hit to clear it, but there's not. I've looked. So one other way that you can solve this one, knowing that you're doing 18 divided by 1/3, is you can draw 18 cups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And know you're dividing those into thirds. So if I'm looking at it like this, I have 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 pieces. So inside of each one of these, I get a value of 3, because for every cup that Mike has that has water in it, he can fill up 3 jars. Okay, and then one thing that I was doing during the Zoom was talking about, well, looking at this, I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know that 3 times 10 gives me 30. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 left over, with 3 jars being to fill up by each, and that gives me 24. And 30 plus 24 is going to give me an answer of 54. So no matter which strategy I'm using, I'm still getting that idea that it's 54. All right. One last problem for today, number 5. Let's take a look. Patrick and his 5 friends. Oh my gracious. Every time I see that, my brain automatically goes off. Patrick and 5 friends. Okay, right there, that little bit of information is probably the most important piece of this problem, because you can't just think about Patrick. And you can't just think about his 5 friends. You have to think about it being a total of 6 friends or 6 people, however you want to think about it. They're going to equally share 1/4 of a gallon of orange juice. See this? That means I'm dividing. Okay. What fraction of juice does each person receive? Okay, so this means I have 1/4 of OJ, and I have 6 friends. Well, we all know, and friends don't let friends cut each other up. So we are going to be dividing our 1/4. So we're going to say 1/4 divided by 6 for our 6 friends. Okay, so 1/4 divided by 6. Start with a fraction, end with a fraction. Okay, so I know that what this looks like is I'm going to use orange. Why not? I'm going to have a model that models 1/4, because my first number always tells me what my model should look like. So I'm going to have it broken into 4ths. And out of this gallon of orange juice, we only have 1/4 of it left, which means this is all we have left. And we're going to share that between 6 people, okay? All right. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to divide my gallon for 6 people. So I'm going to draw 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have Patrick. We have friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, friend 4, and friend 5. So we only need to know what fraction of juice does each person get. So let's just think about Patrick right now. Why not, right? So he's only getting this 1 piece. Okay. So I know that means my numerator needs to be a 1. But in order to figure out my fraction, I have to look at it as a whole and not just a piece. Okay, which means I need to look at all of my squares. So 6, 12, 18, and they're 24 equal parts. So that's going to be my denominator. So my answer would be a 1/24 gallon. Those are the 5 problems that we worked out today in Zoom. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Your SchoolNet for this week has a focus of fractions. So this video is very useful for completing that test. Thanks, everyone. See you later.